everyone, so today we are back with the Vette. Very excited. There's a lot of work that we want to get done today. We have a lot of new parts that are going to be installed. We have some exhaust work that's going to be done and a lot of weight reduction as well.
So the main goal for the engine bay is to clean all of this up. So C5s are actually pretty good looking underneath here, but that's just because everything's hidden. A lot of the AC stuff is tucked underneath here. They've got the coil covers, which hide a bunch of stuff, but that's all gonna go away. A couple of things we're gonna be using in doing that is we've got a set of red Granatelli valve covers. They're bracketless, the same thing that's on the red motor, but these are painted, and I'll show those next to those in a second. On top of those is going to be a set of their malevolent coil packs, 85 kilovolts, and a set of red 0 ohm wires. Decided to mix it up because, like I said, the red motor's got silver valve covers with red coils. I was like, let's try red valve covers, black coils. The next thing I'm going to be doing is deleting the PCV. So again, it's all underneath here, but there's a PCV system that runs behind. What I've got here, this is from GM. This is a 2004 only, technically, LS6, they call it, Valley Pan, that has the PCV hidden underneath it. So instead of having the PCV run off of these ports here, and then going behind, and then routing, it's all in the Valley, and then you can run a catch can. I don't have it yet, we're gonna be doing it to put it in, but it's just gonna run a simple line from here to the throttle body, and that's it. Okay, let me go ahead and just pull these off so we can see everything that's gonna be going away. So you can see it's a lot uglier now. These old LS1 style coil packs are very ugly with their brackets. You've got the EVAP purge solenoid here. I'm gonna be deleting that. This is the air injection system, that's going away. I've got a set of block offs here that's gonna go on either side so that all that tubing can go away. And then you can't see it on this side, but here's one of the PCV lines, and then it routes behind, it connects, and then this big line here is the PCV, and then the valve itself is hidden in here. So that's all going away. It'll also be an opportunity to pull the intake manifold, clean it, you know, get all the grime up away from all here. And then we might pull the AC condenser and the AC compressor. At some point, I definitely want to pull the entire HVAC, pull the whole dash out. I don't think I'll do that today. I do, however, though, I want to get the door panels off and get them weighed and then get the door speakers out. Because we've already pulled the back speakers, but I know there's like 2 big speakers in here that's going to come out. And then I want to see if I can potentially run it with no door panel or like delete some stuff inside and then again fix the broken handle. I've also got, sitting over there, a 160 degree thermostat that's going to go in, because when I delete all this stuff, I'm going to go in with HP tuners and tune everything off. And then also, you know, it's going to be running a lot colder, so I might put a base tune in it, might adjust some fan speed, because I think the fan speeds don't come on till like over 200. And then the last thing we're going to be doing, so I've got this, I'm pretty excited. So this is a factory C5 Corvette mid-pipe. I'm going to be running headers at some point, but I've got the stock manifolds in it now. The mid-pipe that's in it now has cats here and cats here. The speed engineering headers I want to run, they require you to cut your stock mid-pipe to use the back half of it. I didn't want to do that because I want to be able to swap the car back and forth from stock to not stock. So I was out looking for a stock mid-pipe and a stock, or at least the back section, and I happened to find this. So this is an early mid-pipe without the pre-cats, and somebody had already deleted the main catalytic converters. So I'm really interested to hear what this thing sounds like with the axle back that's on it now, with just no cats, but still having stock manifolds. The other thing I'm excited about is, so C5s from the factory make a really weird fluttering sound. The reason why is they have a factory H-pipe here, but the opening for it is only a little tiny hole. So that fluttering sound is the air going back and forth between the banks. Most people either cut this out, open this up all the way so it's a true big H-pipe to get rid of the fluttering noise, or they just cut it off and run an X-pipe. I'm like the king of true dual exhaust. I think true dual sounds way better than X-pipes and H-pipes and singles. And I love the sound of boats. So I'm really excited to hear what it sounds like actually true dualed. And I have yet to ever find someone who's actually fully true dualed a C5. So this is going in, all this stuff is going in, and all this stuff is coming off. First things first is technically undoing everything that was done in the last video. I'm not that mad about it though because I clean these valve covers super well. So I'm going to keep these ones around as my go-to clean valve covers for when we have junkyard motors. And I'm just trying to like, clean them up really quick. All right. Good riddance to the ugly coil packs. Figure I'd show how to take the fuel line off. I've got the special tool. The little clip comes right off. Get that in there. And off she comes. You definitely need the tool to do that. I think everything's off. This intake manifold should come off easy. It's not as bad as a 4th gen. Okay, it's up. Try to go a little forward.
It's kind of hard to go forward with one hand.
Okay. Keep going. I think I disconnected everything. Keep going.
Okay.
Keep lifting up. All right, pause. It's got the map sensor back here, and then hold on. I need the power brakes. Hold on.
Okay.
Yeah, it's gonna come your way.
Okay, it's still connected right here. Is that okay?
Yes, that's all part of the PCB.
Okay.
Up. Slowly.
Downside to having a hood that goes this way. You want me to just grab it?
Yeah. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. Watch out. Knock sensors. All right, good. Take it. All right, so here's the intake manifold. So our Corvette is a 2001, which means it is the LS6 intake manifold. Every single LS1 after 01 has the same manifold as the LS6. They just made one manifold. The way to tell is there's no more EGR port here. The last manifold that I have, the Firebird, that has that freeze plug that I have sitting in there, because that motor was a 2000. This is a 2001. So this is the PCB system I was talking about. It plugs in on this head back over here, runs and it goes into a T or a Y here, it has another little port here, and then runs here, and then the PCB valve is hidden in here, and then it sucks in here. As you can see, this was always broken. These always break, and apparently this line is really expensive, and it's got this crappy plastic, this crappy rubber. So yeah, sure enough, this PCV system wasn't literally working at all. The other thing that's going away is we've got the evap purge solenoid that sits here, and then it does its whole little weird thingy here, and it goes into the manifold here. So this is going to get blocked off. And then this port is going to be used just instead of going around and then having all this BS back here, it's just going to go right underneath it into the valley pan. All right, so PCV, gone. Evap purge, gone. Immensely more clean intake manifold. The only thing left we're going to delete eventually is the power brakes, but it's got power brakes for now, so that'll go back in. Now that the intake manifold's gone, you can see a lot more that's hiding behind here. We've got the air pump line that snakes behind here, and that's all going to go away. And then you've got all these hard lines. These are all for the HVAC. That will all go away at some point too. You can see the AC, what is that, the accumulator? That's chilling, hiding behind there. So yeah, there's a lot more back here to remove, but I think we're going to leave that for now, and then mostly just work on what's here. Got half of the air system coming out. It's bolted to the back of the head facing that way, so it's going to be challenging. All right, this one's coming out. That was immensely difficult, and the bolt is good. Cool, it's out. All right, ugly coil packs. That's it too. So the valley pan's pretty much ready to go. Got the knock sensor harnesses off. This was very nerve-wracking because every time I take one of these off on a junkyard motor, they always break. Same with the knock sensors, those are both out too. And then it comes with all new bolts. So these are gonna go away and be a different size. All right, valley pan. That's it, I got it. New valley pan time, going in.
Yup. Like a glove.
Valley pan is torqued on. Just doing the knock sensors. Old valve cover coming off. Obviously it's nice and clean since we just had these off like a minute ago.
Okay, so before we put this on the vet, we want to explain a little bit what's going on here because this is the red motor. With red motor, we decided to go with the red coil packs and the bare aluminum valve covers. And so for the vet, we have the black coil packs and the red valve covers, which should look absolutely amazing.
Also, before we throw these on, I guess I'll explain this too. So the coil packs that you can use with these valve covers are either Granatelli's own coil packs, obviously, stock Gen 4 coil packs, which are the same size and shape as these, And you can also use the square style that comes on a lot of the trucks. That'll also fit just like that. The main other two styles that you'll see is this is called the heat sink coil. These come on trucks. These do not fit because obviously they bolt sideways. And then the other one is the early LS1 style, which is, they're pretty uncommon because they're only on, fourth gen Camaros and C5s. These also won't fit, but it's just the fact that you don't necessarily need to get the Granatelli coil packs to make these work. Either this or the Gen 4 one will work and totally clean everything up. Valve cover on. Now it's time to line up the coil packs themselves. Also note, these do not come with their own harnesses. You're going to have to reuse your harness, although it's the same plug unless you have an early LS1. And before I forget, before it's too hard to reach it, I've got my air block off on this side. Okay, cool. All right. Make sure everything's nice and in. There we go. All right, everything looks good. So yeah, huge improvement over the prior.
Nice. So as you can see, very beautiful on this side. And if you look over here, this looks a little bit,
Fugly.
yeah, fugly. That's a good word.
Mm-hmm. Second valve cover coming off. Oh, parts falling in here.
I got it.
Yeah.
Oh, I don't got it.
Valve cover's on. Just got to get on the block off for this side.
I love to show this because not only are you a hardworking man, but you get right in engine bay. I love how you can just fold yourself. Look at that. And I legit watched him jump from here over the car to here. Like, no big deal.
So the coil packs are ready to go on this side. I noticed here though, so the C5 alternator comes up way over here and way back. There's no way we're going to be able to fit the coil pack there. Granatelli does include one of these. So this is a little relocator bracket. It can bolt there and it'll shift it over just a tiny bit to fit. The only thing is I know from doing this before with the same style intake manifold, that is gonna have to go on this one right here to clear the nipple for the fuel rail. Oh. Luckily, I do have another one of these, so we're gonna have to run one of them right here to shift this one away from the alternator, and then shift another one away from that nipple.
Okay.
The Gen 4 stuff moves this slightly somewhere else. It's just the LS1 F-body, LS1 F-body and Corvette manifold that has the nipple come out right there.
Okay.
Trucks are also facing a completely different way.
Yeah. Well, it's a good thing we have two.
So we got the coil packs on. You can see I've got that one there and that one there. So yeah, we'll see when we put the intake manifold back on how that one needs to be, because the nipple comes out right there. But before we put the intake manifold on, I have an idea that'll probably be the greatest thing you've ever seen.
Heck yes.
Perfect.
A carb.
High-rise single plane.
Yes.
C5 Corvette.
Gorgeous.
The hood almost closes, kind of.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, we just have to, a few adjustments. Definitely.
All right, so now you're sitting in there. Take this from your perspective.
Oh, yeah.
Can you see the carburetor?
Yes.
Yeah, that's the proper way to have a C5 Corvette. Have your carburetor visible from the driver's seat.
Beautiful.
Finishing touches. Perfect.
Gorgeous.
Yes, that's correct.
That is correct. Now we just need a new hood.
Nah, we just pulled the old one off. Yeah, so last couple shots to get reference of where exactly a high-rise single plane and a carb would sit on a C5. Definitely super cool, and would look super awesome with the hood cut open and just have the filter sticking right out.
Oh, heck yes.
All right, back to business. So real manifold going in. I have to make sure I get the plug back here that I need. Knox sensors. And I need to get this manifold absolute pressure sensor to plug in as I go back. Got it.
Beautiful. Climbing into that engine bay.
Just wrestling with the power brake line, which I wish we didn't have, but Soon enough it'll be gone.
There, yeah. That looks correct.
Almost.
Almost.
All right, I think that's in. A lot of finagling. Yeah, it's also a pain because the C5 has a electronic throttle for all years. You can go back going back to 97, and that's here, and then it still has power steering, which is going away, which is right there. So
Sorry,
it's made a lot of it's made a lot of progress as far as deletion, but it's still got a lot more to go.
I'm still so in love with these coil packs. So. It looks so good though. See, now when we take her to car shows, is we have something to show.
Yeah, it's not just, oh, pop the hood. Hey, nice bone stock C5.
Yeah. So now we have everything mostly in place.
We don't.
We don't, he says. But in terms of what it looked like before, to me, it's more in place, I guess. Yeah. Looks very beautiful.
All right, intake manifold's bolted on. Just got to plug everything back in. Got injector plugs, this fuel line. Then, so this is going to get plugged. This is where the evap went. I need you to get the that tiny guy down there. That's the steam port line. Then the throttle position sensor. This row of coil packs, or injectors, sorry. Then the coil packs. And then, so if you come over here, this is the new PCV system. So basically, this is the vacuum port that it uses. This is what vents it. So this just goes a loop from here to here. So I'll just grab a piece of hose to go do that. And then at some point, I'm gonna mount a catch can like right there. That's like the hot setup, and have it to go from a catch can back into there. And everything's plugged in, I think. I got the steam port lines back on. Just gonna get the intake on, and then throw a cap on where the evap went in originally. And then I went ahead and I put this line back. It sucks behind, or sorry, it sucks in front of the throttle body. So it's not technically a vacuum line. It's just also drawing in air. It's not, after the throttle blade. But I'll just leave it on for now, although it's already broken. But we might delete that. But this one, it stays capped because, like I said, it all pulls PCV from the valley. No more having to snake around the back. We're done under the hood for now. Now it's time to get Jack the car up and throw this puppy in. So yeah, go ahead. Wrestle this out underneath the car. All right, so here is our mid pipe versus one going in. So you can see, I think after 01 or 2000 or something, they added these pre-cats in the front. And then here's the main cats right here. Ours are gone. And then here's the factory H pipe, which this is not all the way open. So all it is two little like 1/4 inch or probably like 1/2 inch holes drilled into the pipe. And that's what makes that famous C5 flutter noise. So yeah, so now it's just time to roll this thing underneath. It's a little bit lighter because there's no cats, and then bolt it up and fire it up. All right, change of plans. So as I was wrestling with this thing, trying to figure out why it wasn't lining up, I learned that sure enough, there is 2 different exhaust manifolds for the early car and the later car. Obviously, the cat versus no cat. So yeah, totally won't line up at all. Huge bummer. I spent all this work trying to get this out. The whole point was to hear what this car sounded like with stock manifolds, no cats, and just tiny mufflers. But it's not that bad because I do still need this back section. So now I'm going to go order the headers. So the headers you have to use like from here back of your stock mid pipe, and I want to keep this one completely intact. So I'm just going to throw this one back in. It's going to sound exactly the same, and then keep this for when it's time for headers. So exhaust is all back in. Yeah, super big bummer that I had to pull that all the way out just to put it all back in. But I figure since this thing is up already, now I can get the air pump out. So pull the rest of the tube here, snake it down, and then grab it from underneath. All right, here we go. So might as well weigh it, see if we lose a couple pounds. All right, so what we got? Like 4.4. So that means we've pulled 90 so far, 94 pounds. So I think that's everything we're gonna delete for now. there's a couple other things I want to go over. So one thing that I really like about the Coil packs is they do in fact come with a carb sticker. So these are California legal for emissions. So I'm definitely going to stick that right here, keep that there. Another thing I noticed is playing around, as good as this looks, technically the coil covers do fit. Obviously there's no more attachments here because this is where they attach onto the old coil packs, but it still has the 2 rail clips. So get this around that. Yeah, so that one still fits like that. Yeah, this one fits like this. It doesn't really look that good anymore because obviously the oil cap doesn't line up at all. But yeah, technically you can still retain your Corvette covers. And then so the last thing I'm gonna do is I've got HB tuners open. I'm gonna go in and I'm gonna turn off all of the codes that are gonna light up as soon as this thing fires up. So I'm gonna turn off all of the evap stuff, all of the air stuff. I wish I was turning off the rear O2s, but those are hooked back up with the catalytic converters. But I think we're done for now. I think next video what we're gonna do is actually go and do all the weight loss. So I'm gonna leave the speakers and stuff in for now. But yeah, so next I wanna pull do one more like long weight thing. So have the seats, but Kirky's in it, door panels out, speakers out, the entire HVAC out, including like heater core, the evaporator in the dash, the AC accumulator, the compressor, condenser, because I've looked more into it. We have to pull the water pump to get the AC compressor out or pull an exhaust manifold, and we're not pulling those yet. So yeah, definitely next time is going to be like full race car mode.